all the like rot and grooves. Kind of hard to see with all the dirt though. That did not work. And that's why we're replacing these.
Wait, hold on.
The camera this. All the like rot and grooves. Kind of hard to see with all the dirt though.
Welcome back to Sneaky Creek Homesteading on the Fly. This video we're going to be putting together two different types of garden beds. First garden bed is going to be a Vigo garden bed, and the second type are the Vega garden beds. Vigo is your name brand, top of the line garden beds. Vega is a kind of a knockoff type brand, but just as equally as good. The difference between the two garden beds is about $50 to $75 in price. We didn't get all Vigo because when we went to reorder some more, we realized that they were out of stock. And the reason why we started with these garden beds is because the cedar boards that we used in our original garden beds have rotted and they really need to be replaced. And we just wanted to upgrade the look of it all. So I use an electric drill to put these together a lot quicker, and it really worked. So as you can see in this video, we're disassembling the old garden beds. We've had these beds for about 3 years now, and they've served their purpose, really good beds. We put these together. These are actually cedar boards for fencing. We just cut the dogtails off the end of them and used them as garden beds. It was way cheaper, and when we put this stuff together, lumber prices were pretty high. But you can see over time, they really got rotted. And we try not to use pressure treated stuff and all that, trying to keep it chemical free in the garden. So we disassembled everything, and then once we did that, we were able to just basically match up the beds, figure out where they went, remove some of the soil that we already had in there, and then move some of our irrigation lines around so that we could basically slide these new beds basically over the top of it and install them right where the old beds were, and not have that much of not too much of a work project here. And you know, the chickens jumped in and they gave us a good hand helping out. So once we got the beds figured out, we just kind of wound up the shape of them. Just basically I put them over top and then just dug dirt out away from, and this made it a lot easier than trying to haul off dirt and bring more dirt in. Just move it away, put them on top, get them all set up, and then just basically fill the beds back in with the dirt that we just moved to the side. And dirt was really loose, so it was pretty easy to move without having to make it a major project. So it worked out real well by doing it this way, and I'm sure other people have other ideas of how to do it. So as you can see, we had an irrigation line that was in the way from where one of the beds are, because the new shape of the new beds are a little smaller. So we had to actually move that irrigation line. And while we were there, we just decided to dig out a new irrigation line and run it to our far back corner of our garden area, where we're going to put some, probably put some watermelon in there, maybe some pumpkins in the fall. Or actually, we'd probably be pretty soon with pumpkins. But we just figured while we're out there, we'll just dig those lines up and get them all set up. Our irrigation system runs basically off our garden hose. We just put a flow reducer on it, and then you can buy the garden hose. I mean, you can buy the irrigation hose pretty much at any Lowe's, Home Depot, and do it yourself. It's really cheap and easy to do. You know, don't be afraid to do it. It's a pretty good, fun project. You basically just dig down the hose, and you know, we're not running 6 feet underground for all this irrigation lines and all that stuff. We're just basically taking them down, putting them in the ground where we can get to them pretty easy if we need to fix them. And then it's, the only people back there are going to be the chickens and the dogs and some other wildlife that, hopefully won't dig down more than a foot to get to these lines. All right, as you can see, we got all the beds in, replaced all the old cedar beds with these new metal ones. They came with these cool composters for worms. Put in here, we'll get some worms. We'll have a video later on for that. Got our irrigation trench dug. This will go for the sprinkler. We just tapped into this line here, which goes to the garden beds. Over to here, this will be some type of ornamental flowers or something we'll put in here. And then ran the line all the way around to the back here to our back 2 beds over here, where we're going to be growing a couple different things back here besides rabbits. Those beds are going to be hooked up to the irrigation also. We'll get this all cleaned up. We're going to put down some landscape fabric in here. We'll have a video on that. And then we're going to add some pine straw just to keep everything nice and neat. And the greenhouse is all cleaned up. We already got our plants started. And we'll get them in the ground soon. We'll have a video on that one too. So yeah, everything's moving along. Should be a good season. Chickens and the turkeys are all happy. All right, catch you guys next time.